Hopefully this video can provide a little bit of value to those who are not in the know. How to avoid surge pricing and get cheaper trips with Uber and Lyft. It is indeed your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Being candid, I've been in rideshare since 2014, on and off between jobs. I have thousands of trips to my credit. So I am what you would refer to as a veteran driver, and many of my veteran drivers in the comments can back up the solution offered here. Nevertheless, how do you avoid surge pricing? Whether you're coming out of a concert, whether you're just simply going home at the end of the day during rush hour when they are charging a premium for trips. It's a lot of times you want to catch an Uber or a Lyft and the price is simply ridiculous. Something that never happened during the day and era of the taxi market. So how the hell do we avoid that? Well, I want to give this to you from an article titled Uber Surge Pricing in Effect All the Time, say drivers. Opaque pay. In other words, Uber is now implementing surge pricing all damn day. And fact is, because the transparency coming from Uber and Lyft is so vague, there's no way to know if surge pricing is really based on anything. Is it really a shortage of vehicles in the area? How the hell do you know? Is it really a lot of passengers seeking trips right now? How do you really know? The only person who knows what is going on all the time is Uber or Lyft. Passengers do not know the complete metrics. Neither do the drivers. So how do you avoid paying all of this money when they're asking you to pay these impressively high rates? Listen to the way the article is written. Uber surge pricing is supposed to be applied to especially busy times and places when riders may prefer paying a substantial premium to not being able to get a ride at all. But drivers are claiming that Uber now effectively applies this pricing model all the time and keeps most of the difference. In my humble opinion, based on my analysis, that is absolutely true. As we just stated, the drivers and the riders do not have the complete formula to how things are figured out financially. The drivers don't know what the passengers are paying. The riders do not know what the drivers are receiving. And neither the driver nor the rider knows how many cars are on the road, how many passengers are requesting trips, or any of that. The only player in the game that knows everything is Uber or Lyft. Fact is, they know everything and they are indeed manipulating that data for their own benefit. So it's the solution to this is simple. Because Uber and Lyft chop off so much of the fare, some would argue 40, 50, as high as 60% of what the passengers pay is kicked back to Uber and Lyft. Drivers are out here getting between 20 to 40% of the fare if they are lucky. So the solution is simple. If you know you're going to be taking an Uber or Lyft during a high traffic time when they're imposing these huge surges, which could be any time of the damn day, stop off at the ATM somewhere and pay the driver in cash. Whatever your trip is, knock off at least 20% of that and offer it to the driver. I guarantee you that if you offer to pay that driver in cash 20% less than what Uber has quoted you, probably 90% of drivers or more will accept that in cash. In fact, I would submit to you, you could probably chop off 30%, particularly if it's a really high surge. You're coming out of a Taylor Swift concert and you want to get home and they're charging you $80 to do that. That driver's probably going to get $20 to $30 of that $80 if they're lucky. So you could knock your end down to $50. And it's a really good chance that driver will accept that $50 in cash to take you home. You're saving $30 and that driver's making $20, $30 more than he would have. Don't believe me? Try it out. My veteran drivers in the comments certainly can back up or disagree with what I'm saying here. But I'll submit to you one way of saving out on Uber and Lyft's surge pricing and other fees they charge is to simply take a few bucks out of the ATM, pay the trip in cash. I know a lot of you folks don't carry cash. That is the era we live in. You don't want to deal with ATM fees and all of that stuff. But here we're saving enough money. The savings is significant enough that it's worth the $3 to $5 ATM fee and the hassle of carrying cash for a minute. But as I stated, you know when you request a trip as a passenger, they're going to give you a quote how much that trip would cost. Knock off 20, 30% of that fare. Get it in cash, offer it to the driver when they show up, and I almost can guarantee you that driver will take that, saving you money in your pocket, making the driver happy as well. Now, obviously, Uber and Lyft don't want this taking place, so drivers are at odds whether they want to take the money because, of course, they can be taken off the platform, but all they got to do is cancel the trip when you get in the car and offer them cash and take the trip. Let your boy know in the comments what you think of this. Nevertheless, to conclude this video, here's what drivers said in this very article. To prove this point, they have been logging in as riders to request rides, seeing how much they are quoted, and then how much the driver is offered. In one example, the rider was quoted $58, while the driver was only offered $33. That meant Uber was taking 43%. So let's say you get quoted $58. Get in the car and offer the driver $45, and you see what we're talking about. Uber's only giving that driver $33. So if you get in and offer the driver $40 to $45, he's making quite a bit more. You're going down from 58 to 45 or even 40. You're paying quite a bit less. That shows you how much room there is to play with in terms of the numbers because Uber and Lyft take so much of the damn fares. Nevertheless, let your boy know in the comments if you've already tried this out. Some of my savvy passengers most likely have already tried to offer the driver cash. It will work. Let me know in the comments. As always, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.